Okay, so today we are starting with a new topic in financial management called financing decisions. Okay, the first chapter that we covered was of determining the time values and all that, then capital asset pricing model, all those things we did. In second chapter, we started with NPV, payback period, profitability index, IRR, discounted payback period, all those things we calculated and we solved so many sums on that. Now we are starting the third chapter. In third chapter, what will you learn is, I'll just speak for 2 minutes regarding the overall concept of these financing decisions and then quickly move on to the sums. Okay, so what is financing decision is, you by now you have understood that the company needs to invest in project in order to get going and in order to make a profit, in order to survive for longer period of time in the market. By now you have understood that. So if the company wants to invest something, in doing the sums also you have seen that initial investment is 10 lakh, initial investment is 10,000, initial investment is 50 lakh. So all those amount of money, then from where will it come? From where this money will come? If it is a small amount of money, the investor can invest from his own. But suppose the amount is quite big, it is 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore, 100 crores. Big companies make so many huge investments, isn't it? So in those cases, from where the money will come? It's not that the bank will give you entire amount of money. Bank is not going to give you 100 crores of rupees at loan. It will be at risk. So that is not the only source of money that will come to you. And based on what will you take that amount of loan? Then you have to resort to the second source. Second source can be to search for investors, prospective shareholders who will be willing to invest money in your company, invest money in the project that you're undergoing, and then they can also make some money out of it with your good performance. So that is the second source that the company can resort to. Third source can be, if the company is an old one, it should have a retained earnings. It should have earnings of the past which it had retained. It can use those retained earnings and then make use of the money and invest in any project. That can be done. Next, another thing that can be used is preference capital. From preference capital, the company can also accumulate funds where they will have to consider the preference shareholders as similar to the debt holders, because preference shareholders are some people to whom you have to pay, whether you're making how much profit, your profit percentage is low, you're now making no profit at all, still you have to keep on paying the preference shareholders, whereas you can negotiate with the equity shareholders and pay them later when you make huge profit. So how many sources I talked about right now? First is the debt. You can take loan from the financial institutions. Second is, you search for prospective shareholders, equity shareholders, and ask them to invest in your company. You go for IPOs, initial public offering. You list your company in the share market, stock exchanges. You list, then you go accumulate funds through share investment. That is second source. Third type of source, what I said, it is retained earnings. Your company is old and you have retained earnings from the past, then you can utilize that retained earnings in order to invest in new project this year. And fourth type of source, what I said, is preference share capital. So preference share capital can be more, but you have to keep on paying them as dividend amount, just like you are paying interest to the loans. You cannot compromise on that. Equity shareholders, you can compromise. If any year you are making less profit or no profit at all, then you can compromise with them and then pay later when you have you are making huge profit. So 4 sources. Why I am telling these 4 sources? Because in this chapter you will learn that what are the costs that the company will pay in order to accumulate funds through these 4 sources. Okay, our point is not to discuss about how much amount of money can be accumulated through these 4 sources, or how will the company accumulate. That is not our point of discussion in this chapter. Our point of discussion in this chapter is to calculate the cost of those capital gained from those sources. Okay, so give the heading cost of capital. Give the heading cost of capital. Cost of capital means sources of finance. You can write somewhere. This capital means sources of finance. From which source you are accumulating how much capital. That is called sources of finance. Okay. Just a second. I'm sharing the first source of capital. Then I'll discuss. There will be some theories that I'll send you notes how to write those theories. First type of source you write. First topic is cost of debt. First source that we will discuss is debt and how to calculate the cost of that debt, DBT debt, that we will discuss. So the first heading is cost of debt. Debt is what? Debt is the money that you are accumulating from financial institution, and you are going to use that money in order to finance any project. All right. Now, the point is that what is the amount of money, or what is the price that you will have to pay in order to accumulate this debt? That is our concern. What is the money called, or what is the price called that you will pay in order to accumulate debt? Can anyone answer my question? What is the amount of money or the price that you're going to pay for accumulating this debt? What is it called? Can anyone tell me? I'm making the question easier. If you accumulate funds by taking loan, then what is the price that you pay for it?
Interest.
Interest.
Yes, very good. This is the price that you pay for it. So when we will calculate the cost of capital accumulated to debt, we are that means we are talking about the interest payment. Okay. So how to calculate it? In your screen, you see the formula. You can see the formula. Okay. Two formula you can see on your screen. After writing cost of debt, you write cost of debt is computed as follows. Cost of debt is computed or calculated as follows. So the first formula is debt issued at par. Debt issued at par. That means in the exact amount the debt has been issued. So the first is debt issued at par. It is given by KD. This cost of debt is represented by the notation KD. K subscript D. KD equals to 1 minus T into R. KD equals to 1 minus T. This 1 minus T should be kept in brackets, and then you should write a capital R. What are these? Where KD equals to cost of debt, you write where KD equals to cost of debt KD is called what? cost of debt. Then capital T is called marginal tax rate. If tax rate is given, then you will have to deduct that tax rate from 1 and then you will calculate the cost of debt. So this T is called marginal tax rate, and capital R is equals to interest rate payable. Capital R is equals to interest rate payable. Okay, so it's easy. From the interest rate that you will pay, you will apply the tax rate, you will deduct the tax rate, then you will calculate the exact cost of debt if it is issued at par. Number 2, you write debt issued at a premium or at a discount. Number 2 is debt issued at a premium or at a discount. Debt issued at a premium or at a discount. Now the debt is not being issued at par, it has been issued either at a discount or at a premium. Then let's see what happens. So if the debt is issued at par or at a discount, the formula is KD equals to, see the underlined one in your screen, KD equals to capital C divided by NP, capital C divided by NP into 1 minus T. So now the formula is changing a little bit. It is becoming C by NP. In previous one it was only R. Now it is becoming C by NP into 1 minus T. Where KD is equals to cost of debt, you know it. KD is equals to cost of debt. Then capital C equals to annual interest amount. Now what is this capital C? This is an amount, okay? This is not a rate of interest. This is an amount. This is annual interest amount. So you have to calculate the interest, then you have to write for C. So C is equals to annual interest amount. Then you write NP equals to net proceeds. NP equals to net proceeds. Okay, so NP is equals to net proceeds and capital T is as usual, it is the tax rate applicable, marginal tax rate, whatever you want to state. Tax rate applicable. T is equals to tax rate applicable. Then you write that small line in order to remember things later on. If you forget any time, then you can refer to this line in order to remember how this net proceed is calculated. Right? When debt is issued at premium or at a discount, when debt is issued at a premium or at a discount, comma, the amount of premium or discount, is adjusted, the amount of premium or discount is adjusted in arriving at the net proceeds. The amount of premium or discount is adjusted in arriving at the net proceeds. So what will you do is, I'll show you an example how to calculate the net proceeds, then it will be clearer. So I hope you have written this line. When debt is issued at a premium or at a discount, comma, the amount of premium or discount is adjusted in arriving at the net proceeds. Okay. Now you see the example. You can write the question later on after the class. You have the image in your WhatsApp group, or you can take screenshot from here also. Then you can write it later on. So what is the question? The question is, a company issues 12% debentures. Debentures means debt, same thing. A company issues 12% debentures for rupees 3 lakh. Okay. So the debenture value is 3 lakh and the debenture interest rate is 12%. Rate of tax is 35%. Calculate the cost of debt after tax. After tax mentioned, that means you have to calculate that 1 minus T. If the debentures are issued, number 1 is at par and number 2 is at a discount of 10% and number 3 is at a premium of 10%. Okay. So 3 things you have to calculate. One is when the debenture will be issued at par. Second is when it will be issued at a discount of 10%. And third is when it will be issued at a premium of 10%. Okay. So when it will be issued at par, you write the solution, leave some space for writing the question later on and write the solution. When it will be issued at par, you give a heading at par. Then you bring the formula that you have written in your copy. The first formula, KD equals to 1 minus T into capital R. You write the formula of at par, it will be KD equals to 1 minus T into capital R. Then in place of T, you write 0.35. You will not write 35%. If you convert 35% into decimal, it will be 0.35. So you write 1 minus 0.35. This will be in bracket multiplied by the rate of interest, which is 12%. That is, you write 12%. You can also write here 0.12. You can also write here, instead of 12%, you can write 0.12. So if you solve this, what will you get? You will get 1 minus 0.35, that means 0.65 multiplied by 1, you can do is 12 and then you write it as percentage, or else you can do it by 0.12 and then you multiply it by 100 and write the percentage. What is first option is you multiply 0.65 with 12. How much will you get? 0.65 with 12, you will directly get 7.8 and you write a percentage. Or what you can do is, you will do 0.65 into 0.12, so you will get 0.078. Then you will multiply 100 with it and then you will get 7.8, then you will write percentage. Those who are writing 0.12 in place of 12%, they will multiply 100 at the end. Those who are writing 12% and not 0.12, they will directly write 7.8%. Understood? If not, you please unmute and ask. I'm moving to the second part. Say at a discount of 10%. If you have any doubt, you please unmute and stop me and ask, okay? So number 2 is at a discount of 10% now. Now previous one was at par, so we did not calculate the net proceed. Now we will have to calculate net proceed in order to calculate the exact value of the debenture. How to do that? When it is issued at a discount, we know the formula is KD equals to C by NP into 1 minus T. Okay? C by NP into 1 minus T. Now, then you write C equals to, after writing this formula, you write C equals to, C will be how much? C will be how much? This is the interest amount, isn't it? This is the interest amount. So what will be the interest amount? It is 12% of 3 lakh. The interest amount is 12% of 3 lakh. So how much will the amount come for C? What is the amount for C? Tell me. 36,000. That is 12% of 3 lakh. It is 36,000. Then you will calculate net proceed. How to calculate net proceed? See, when the debenture has been issued at a discount, then the net proceed will be a reduced value from the original value. By how much will it get reduced? It will get reduced.
3 lakh minus 30,000.
Yes, it will get reduced by 10%. 10% of what? 10% of the original value of the debenture. That is 3 lakh. So 10% of 3 lakh is giving you 30,000. Thus, net proceed will be 3 lakh minus 30,000. I am repeating once again. You will write NP equals to 3 lakh minus 10% of 3 lakh. You will write 3 NP equals to 3 lakh minus 10% of 3 lakh. That is 3 lakh minus 30,000. So you will get 2 lakh 70,000. Okay? Then you will calculate the KD. Okay? You just calculate it. I'll be back within a while. Huh? Yes, so name roll number. So you are getting how much? You will get 8.67%. Are you getting this answer? Just unmute and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then calculate this premium one. You calculate the premium one. What will you do in premium? You will now add 10% of 3 lakh. Okay. You will now add 10% of 3 lakh. In place of net proceeds, you will now add 10% of 3 lakh. you add, then net proceed will be now how much? 3 lakh plus 10% of 3 lakh, that is 30,000. It will be 3 lakh 30,000. Then you calculate the cost of debt and tell me what is the answer.
Ma'am, 7.09%.
Yes, correct. It
Ma'am,
will be
70.9.
70.9.
Ma'am, 7.9. 7.9.
Yeah, 7.09. It will be 7.09. Okay. So, it will be 7.09. So you got KD equals to 36,000 divided by 3 lakh 30 multiplied by 1 minus T, that is 1 minus 0.35. Okay. So you got 7.09%.
Ma'am, I got 0.7.08. So is that correct?
Yes, 7.0. If you round it off, it will come 7.09 only. Okay, all right. Now you quickly write down one formula. You give a heading, cost of redeemable debentures. All of you give a heading. I'm not sharing the screen. Tomorrow I'll share the screen when I'll do the sum. Now just write the formula. Cost of redeemable debentures. Cost of redeemable. REDEEMABLE. Cost of redeemable debentures. KD, you write KD before tax. In bracket, you write before tax. KD before tax equals to KD before tax equals to, give a division line, and in the numerator you write, in the numerator you will write C, capital C plus, you do one thing, you leave it, okay? You will make mistake if I dictate like this. I will do it tomorrow, okay? I will share the screen and then at once I will do the sum also. You will be able to understand it better. Leave it till this much, okay? You understood? No, it is very easy. Cost of debt is very easy. You should be able to understand this first. After that, we will gradually, this direct question may not come in a question in your exam, but we will see what type of